During the daylight, the woods are a peaceful, relaxing place. But when the sun sets and the forest is shrouded in darkness, it takes on a more sinister feel. Some of the trees have their roots tangled in spilt blood, burnt ashes, and the bones of our ancestors. Battle cries echo in the trees, carried by the winds of the past. And if these trees could talk, they would tell you many stories, some so nightmarish you would not even begin to imagine them. In August 1900, the Cistercian monks, also known as Trappist monks, traveled to this blood-soaked land after their monastery in Nova Scotia went up in flames. After trying to rebuild their first monastery, their temporary living quarters had also caught fire. When the Cistercians came to Cumberland, they quarried the blue granite from the land to build the monastery from stone. But it seemed that flames were not done plaguing them. On March 22, 1950, almost 274 years to the day of the massacre known as 9 Men's Misery, flames broke out, completely devastating the building beyond repair and forcing the monks to move. Sound like a nightmare? Wait until you hear what happened on this land before then. This area, from the time of 1661 until it was annexed to Rhode Island in 1746, was known as Attleboro Gore. This land has seen much bloodshed. On the day of March 26, 1676, Captain Pierce led 63 English colonists and about 40 Wampanoags loyal to the colonists to this area, despite warnings of hostile Narragansett Native Americans nearby. Pierce and his men were tricked by some of the Narragansett tribe and were led into a trap where they were ambushed. 9 men fled the scene and were caught by the Narragansett tribe, where they endured ghastly torture until they were beheaded on a nearby stone. The severed heads were posed, twigs and sticks propping up their mouths into grotesque smiles for their fellow comrades to find. Their bodies then dumped into a mass grave, marking what is presumed to be the first veteran memorial in America. This event is forever known as 9 Men's Misery.
What was that? We all came to talk to you. Is there anything you could tell us?
What was that?
Perfect.
I thought you said severed. That's what it sounded like, severed.
Are you trying to tell us what happened here?
That person just scared the crap out of me. I just saw the road.
Can you repeat my name?
Does that sound familiar to any of you?
No, that was actually Chekhov.
It's the war tribal song for the Wampanoag Indians.
Your allies.
Expression. Quietly.
What?
Expression quietly.
I've never heard that thing go off that fast. And it's been sitting on the word tomorrow ever since like 10 minutes ago.
Do you have another song set up?
I think it wants quiet.
Refused.
What?
Confused.
Confused? Wow.
Refused.
Refused.
Refused? It definitely sounds like it's responding to the music though. doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's refused?
Yeah. What were the words again? It was
Expression quietly refused.
It's an expression quietly.
Their faces were put in a smile, too, as an expression.
and quietly is just as the music had stopped basically.
They refused to comply.
That's pretty interesting timing, the way that went off like that. Is there any way you can communicate with us?
We have a device here with a little bit of American currency in it. If you come near it,
I never got to see you.
it'll turn red. Touch the light for us.
Can you perhaps show yourself in the background maybe?
Event?
What event? We heard there was a pretty brutal massacre that happened here.
Experience? Was that your experience?
Was it a horrible experience? I would imagine it would have been.
Carl, do you know any colonial English poetry? Or sonnets?
Not to come to mind right now. Colloquialisms, right? Yeah. Oh, that would do it.
I wonder if the monks did any chants over them.
I will say this app gives some impressive responses.
No, it's been spot on. It's been crazy cool.
I mean, you can usually link it to a lot of stuff, but
Catch.
Catch?
Did she
Did they
just
catch
drop-
you?
just drop something though, like
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just dropped that water bottle.
right, and it said catch.
That's a catch.
I didn't even know that.
That's weird.
Who was,
pretty cool.
I forgot who was king of England at the time of the,
King Charles.
it was King Charles?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me see if I can place it just right. It was King Charles II, I believe.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I want to place it as either King Charles I or II. I believe it was King Charles II. He was known as the last king, last true king of that reign, that era. His father was beheaded. Then the usurper, what's his name, took over.
I almost said Tiber Septim.
Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell took over England for a couple of years, and he died. And King Charles, who was in exile, ascended to the throne.
What do you think of the responses that this app has been shouting out
There
since?
seems to be a little more than coincidence tonight, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It looks like it's pretty good.
it seemed like it became active as soon as the music stopped,
do-
and then it
So what
spoke.
if I just assimilate?
Good
like,
move.
So I was like, I'm not sure if this is going to be too much.
If I emulate Gregorian chanting.
Loremus te. I mean, I guess it would be the best way to draw it out. Benedicimus te. Adoremus te. Gratias agimus tibi propter. Amen.
It's taking his breath away.
Because you're a sinner, Eric, and you can't stand prayers.
Attack? Was there attack here? Were you attacked?
What you got?
Or, you know, Eric had a coughing attack. Yeah?
Oh my God. I might have mentioned it. It was very beautiful.
He was a soldier from Rehoboth. He was in the battle with Pierce when they were ambushed. So they were trying to gather his skull because some people believed then, because, you know, church and state weren't fully separated then, they believed he was a Nephilim, which is half giant, half angel because of his size. He had a double row of teeth, so they wanted to exhume him to get a skull, which the Rhode Island Preservation Society had until they lost it in the 20th century. So all of this belonged to the Narragansetts. Everyone knows the story with Pierce, you know, him and the colonists and stuff. And then after the 9 men, the only other name that is for certain besides Benjamin Buckland, who is buried here, is John Lowe. And it's almost the same. It's all Johns that were found in the battle, but they couldn't place them. So once the Narragansetts left, they did the decoy, feigning injuries, lured Pierce and their men, fought a bloody battle. Pierce was killed very early on. And then afterwards, the 9 men tried to escape. Once the 9 men tried to escape, the Narragansetts followed them here, tortured them for a few days, let them die, beheaded them, and then even cut grotesque smiles into their face.
I was going to say, I wonder if anybody knew about that. They put twigs in there
to
keep
prop
their
them
mouths
up.
because
Do you think
the white
that
man was always smiling and
They were
deceiving.
found 3 days later.
Do you think that's actually the rock that they were beheaded on?
The librarians that I spoke to said that that's what they believe, because a lot of the rocks that were in this area that are over here, this was originally like a little wall, but then when the monks came here, when they went to the quarry, they actually cemented it in place in 1930. They thought it was like in the 70s, but it was like 19.
I read a second article. I only found one that said in the 1970s they brought some more bones here that they did find at the Rhode Island Historical Society, and they actually had the man's name, Al Clyburg.
Really?
Brought the bones here, but they asked him, and he said he never looked in the box to see what was there. They just
Okay,
buried the
because
whole
they
box.
mentioned that to me too, but they weren't
Yeah,
sure if it was
1976.
relic.
No, come on.
Body.
Body.
Body? Am I another body joining? Or are you hitting on me? Yeah. Just kidding.
Is there anything you'd like us to know before we leave this location? Hearing a lot of movement surrounding us.
Some of it is from the trees.
Speak to us. We're all here listening.
This hasn't gone up at all.
Branch.
Branch.
That went through the speaker. That confused me for a second.
I know,
I just
it's
had
like,
a branch in my
wow.
hand when I went down there.
So you still have it hooked up to that.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's the noise that we're hearing, is branches.
Does it bother you that we're here doing this, trying to communicate with you?
Improve.
Improve? Is it an improvement that the music's off?
They don't want us to improve.
Just whack.
What's your name?
Shoe.
What was it? Shoe?
We're going to be leaving here in a little bit to head back over to the monastery. Are you going to go with us?
What year do you think this is from?
There's no way to find out how old the wood is because there's no history. I mean, it's in a photo from 1965.
Yeah.
At least.
That's got to be at least 50s,
This
right?
is old school orange soda.
Yeah,
they still had
it was
those
just
when I
on
was
the
a
wall
kid.
right there.
It was just sitting out in the open like.
Yeah, there's two of them just stacked. They're right there.
Okay, Eric, been out here a couple of hours now, and I think it's been interesting. Recap, what have we found?
We've gotten some responses on the app when we played the music. Seemed to happen right when the music stopped, which was pretty interesting. I think that was a kind of weird experience right there itself.
Yeah, and the ghost box, that was downright uncanny. That's
Yeah.
too much to be coincidence. You
Right.
had about 6 points that were right on to what we were saying or doing. So that's significant out here.
Yes.
I don't know if it's just because we are here or this is kind of a power place.
Well, I think the activity here is, I think it's been going on for quite some time. And I think when people come out here, it just stirs up more activity and maybe just aching to respond to people.
Yeah, I don't think they visited too often, so they want to be heard.
Right.
As far as relating to the massacre of 9 Men's Misery and King Philip's War, did we get any responses with that? You could read that into it.
You could. The words that came up could respond to it. It just said sun, as in the sun.
The sun is setting.
Sun is going down. I think you could put some of the responses and link them to this situation. But they're, they seem to come out at the proper times when they really talk about the situation. It makes you wonder.
Yeah. So, imagine if we stayed out here till midnight, we'd be chewed
Yes,
alive,
yes.
but
The
because the more
mosquitoes would get us before anything else.
Yeah, that could be a deciding factor too. But we've stayed here from it was still twilight, and we've been here till dusk and
Right.
setting sun.
Yeah.
So
Now we'll just go explore the monastery grounds and see what we can capture over there.
yeah, it was worthwhile stopping here, though.
Oh
There's
yes,
some
always worthwhile
yeah.
back here.
Let's just say it seemed too much to be coincidence.
Cook.
What are you saying now?
Cook.
Yeah.
It's hungry.
Yeah.
Someone's hungry.
About that time.
Aren't we all?
Alrighty, let's go.
Okay, we'll do it.
That cross that's in the garden that you so have you ever seen the newspaper clippings of when the fire was?
Yeah, in the 50s.
Yeah, that cross is mentioned. It's the monk's old burying point.
What? They would be buried. I know monks were traditionally buried just in a sack and in the ground, but they were buried around that area.
In that cross, and they moved the cross to the Ruth Carpenter Memorial Site into the garden.
So
afterwards.
where's the original spot for it?
It was like over here in this area where there was no talking about like this.
Did they take the monks with them when they left?
That I'm not sure of. They found X amount, but they don't know how many.
Yeah.
They're the only one that's like a record of him dying, but I think he was shipped back to Nova Scotia, was Father John, because he was one of the originals that came from Nova Scotia. They had that curse of fire that followed them.
Did
This
you
was
find
their
out where
place.
the wood was from originally?
I think this is just me speculating, so this could be from whatever, but I think it was originally from Nova Scotia, because they brought a lot of their stuff.
That's what I
with them.
wondered. And that's where I got the EVP right at that cross.
And if you look at the type of wood it is and everything
Mhm.
else like that.
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah.
It's real old.
Well,
So-
that's where there was how many people that witnessed lights come out of the cross?
Oh, a good 20 people. This was going back in the 90s. Yeah, they saw some balls of light come out of the
Like
cross. They
orbs?
followed it into the woods. Yeah, it was actually a class of kids here. It was during the daytime.
Really?
Yeah, and they followed. No one back in the 90s. No one really had a camera on them, you know. But I think there's a lot of activity going on around that cross. That's why I kind of like to figure
It was
out.
where they were buried around, so it would make a lot of sense.
Right. I was here on Halloween night back in roughly like '05,
Yeah.
and we were standing over in the path here. It was just my friend and I. And it was like a cold 30-degree October night, and we saw this pile of rocks on the ground, different colors. So we went over and we were like, what is that? And as soon as we bent down to touch it, we got hit with this blast of hot air. Almost like 90-degree air. It was so hot. And you could feel yourself moving out of it when we ran, because we just bolted right out of it. We were freaked out, like, what is that? And then we just jetted right out of the space, and you could feel it from getting so hot to cold again. And it was the craziest feeling I've ever felt. I mean, I've never experienced any temperature change like that in just one little location. It was very odd.
And this is a public walking path. Like, people walk here throughout the day.
Oh, yeah.
People walking their dogs.
Oh yeah, it's always busy during the day, and you know, there's a lot of other stories back here. There's stories of hearing, you know, hoof prints from a horse, saying that there's like some headless horseman roaming back here and stuff like that. There's been a lot of odd, you know, experiences that's happening down this path. 4 or 5 rocks. Looked like it was purposely put there, you know, and they were like different colors. They were like painted. And, you know, it was kind of dark, so we were like, what's that? And as soon as we bent down, that's when the hot air just came right upon us.
It was coming from this direction.
Yeah, it seemed like it did. It just came right at us. And we looked at each other like terrified because it was so hot. You know, I mean, we're hearing like winter jackets, and you almost wanted to like take off your jacket. It was so hot. And then we looked at each other and got so scared we just started running that way. And you literally felt it. Like every step you took, you would feel like 10-degree temperature drop until you got out of it. It was the craziest feeling.
Complete opposite of what we had in our last investigation. You guys
Yeah,
saw
pretty
that.
much.
We had like a 20-degree temperature drop.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of any like temperatures going up.
Right. Well, you know, Carl will tell you that, you know, when temperature is rising that hot, that it could possibly be something demonic. I mean, it's not always the case, but it's a possibility. I'm going to turn on the Ghost Radar app just to see if we get any words spoken back here. Of course, now it feels like it's 90 degrees back here, so, you know, if it gets cold, then it'll be the total opposite.
Yeah, it's been a very hot day here so far, and even that night it's blazing. We're sweating already.
I'm just going to put this down on the ground here. See if we get any responses.
Now again, this app is called GR Classic.
Yes, Ghost Radar Classic.
Ghost Radar Classic. It's available free if you guys are interested in checking out some, you know, haunted areas in your home or anything, you know, and it seems to be helping. We've got crazy results so far.
And it just said, could.
Could.
Could you say something to us? There's anyone back here down these paths? Or maybe head down the path just a little bit. See if we hear anything down here.
Is there anybody roaming around these paths at the time?
Discussion.
Discussion. Want to talk? We can talk.
We're having a discussion with you. It's interesting that you say discussion. What would you like to say? Is there a reason you come back here?
First word was could.
Could.
Could have a discussion. Is there a way you can show us your presence? Throw me a stick or something? How far off do you think these paths go around the park?
Oh yeah, it wraps around the entire monastery. I've gotten lost back here in these paths during the daytime. They break off into different directions, and if you're not following the markers, you can easily get lost. Yeah, they go far back. That's why there's so many experiences. I mean, people have been back here jogging, walking their dogs, throughout decades, and there's been a lot of experiences that you can even go online, read about them. You don't have to hide. You can come out and talk with us. We're just here to communicate with you. We just want to know who you are. We're not here to hurt you or anything. Edge. The edge of what? This is your chance to say something. You probably don't have people come out here and speak with you too often.
Sir.
Observe. Are you observing us? Or is it because we're observing you?
Are you bothered about us observing you?
Because that is what we're doing, we're observing.
Almost a trot noise, but like not really like a rock dropping.
Really?
Like a gallop.
Huh?
Kinda.
I kind of did hear something there. I don't know. It's hard to tell if it's in the distance or...
I'm getting a weird vibe. Maybe something kind of animal like this. Obviously. For the safety of us and the rest of the team, we don't want to bother any wildlife. Maybe we're coming from this.
Would you like to speak with us now that we're back here?
Can you see my light? Walk towards my light.
Is there anything you can do to prove that you're back here with us? Can you make a loud sound or show yourself? You can speak to us. There's the siren, right? I didn't know if it was a siren or if it was coyotes. Yeah. Oh, just heard something over here. Is that you? Would you like to come out?
very close to a main road here, so
Yeah.
it could be one that's in that car passing by. Can't make any noises. What? Could you come up and maybe touch one of us? Tap on the shoulder.
That sounded like rocks.
Right?
Right? Like clanking rocks together. Did you pick that up? Did you hear that? Can you make that sound again? You did. It sounded like two rocks clanking together.
That's what I heard before.
Like,
But it was
that
kind of
trot sound.
But it was a quick. You know what I mean?
There's the one I just heard movement all around me here.
I didn't feel weird here, but it's getting by that point, I felt like some kind of a presence or some kind of a watching feeling.
Well, it said it observed, so maybe it's observing us. Maybe it's watching us. You want to follow us over here? If you have anything else to say before we leave this area, you can speak up now. Maybe you can manipulate this device that I hold in my hand. Maybe you can make it say some words if there's anything you'd like to tell us. Does it bother you that we're back here? Does it feel like we're invading your space? If it bothers you, you can just tell us to leave and we'll go. Just prove to us that you're here.
You hear it again?
I can't tell where that's coming from. Like,
That sounded like it was behind me. The rest of the team is back there, but the first hoof sound I heard was coming from that way. We started walking that way. It could be rocks. I mean, are there acorns in these trees?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it sounded distinctly like
Like a
clanking something together, or something hitting the ground, or two rocks coming together.
Absolutely. If you're here, can you make your presence known? One word and we'll go.
There's a lot of history that happened on this land. Wow.
That was a firework.
That was, yeah.
That was really close.
Happy 4th.
Good timing.
This is what we get for investigating during the 4th.
As I was saying, this land is really old and a lot of history has happened here. I don't know if you were a part of any of it. If there's anything you'd like to talk about.
My battery's going crazy over here.
Is it jumping around?
Yeah, it's a low right now, but it keeps jumping to 2 bars, and that's back to 1 bar.
Still recording, right?
Yeah, we're still recording. I think we need to go back and charge, swap out batteries soon.
All right, we're gonna have to leave this area. So if there's anything you'd like to say or do, you should do it now. It's up to you. All right, we're going to walk out of this path. Maybe you'd like to follow along. Just let us know that you're with us, all right? Just said Dad.
Dad?
Dad.
Yeah.
Are you asking for your dad? Who's Dad? Well, we're gonna keep walking.
Damn fireworks.
No. You can continue to talk if that's you. Listen.
Is there anybody here with us tonight? Me. What's your name? Don't be afraid. Just feel free to come over and hang out and talk with us. What's your name? I'm Mandy, and this is Charisma. And the one holding a really neat looking device over there, that's Crystal. Is that fireworks I hear?
We think so.
I have 2 devices here. You're welcome to come over and use them to communicate with us. Or if you see this green light right here, if you walk up to it and get close to it, you'll make it light up and you can communicate that way. asking something.
Curious.
Yes, I was just curious.
Are you curious about us? I was here yesterday, going over your books. Yeah, you were. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. Do you remember me? Adorable. Adorable. Thank you. Oh. We will be going into the back, but you're welcome to join us, okay? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my! Did you hear? It just said your God is nothing. Oh, this kid! Look what happened. Dude, that was just over here by myself. Did you get that on camera?
No. I don't. Because I turned it right to her right as she started going like, "Wee."
It comes through on the ghost box? Or the app?
No, on this.
It was a few words. I totally heard it when she ran it. It was like,
No one got it?
I turned the camera right when you started going like,
You might
"Whoo."
have to
Tell
buy
us
it.
again what it said. Your God is nothing.
Your God is nothing.
That seems to be more than coincidence, doesn't it?
At a monastery?
Yeah.
Here.
This is the spot though where my friend said she got.
Carl.
Did it just say your name, Carl?
I think so.
I think it sounded like it. Carl.
Should we?
That's what it was, Carl.
What do you want from us? If anything.
She was like, I'm out.
Can you talk now? Or wait till we come back to your channel.
Put stuff in there.
I don't even want to go in there after I heard
I
that.
will.
It just gave me chills up and down my
I will.
spine. I gotta unhear that voice first.
I'll go stand inside of it.
So
Yeah.
it said your God
Your
is
God
nothing?
is nothing. Oh God, that was a bigger.
Yeah, that you jumped down.
I
there.
really wish we would have had her running on film.
So, who said that? Your God is nothing.
That was a creepy voice.
I beg to differ. Who are you? You know Crystal? Can you say my name again? You've grown silent. Or do you want us to leave? You want me to leave Crystal here?
What? I am not the only woman. I am the only woman in this area, in this enclosure.
Do you want more women to go in there?
Christmas said she felt something on her shoulder.
Yeah, felt like something was squeezing my shoulder.
So she's the only woman. You don't want her in here by herself, do you?
Why do you always have to use me as bait no matter where to go?
This has worked a couple of times.
I'll go in.
Did you hear that? Why did you say that earlier?
You going to talk if I leave Crystal here? And she'll be the only woman here.
Yeah, I just feel wicked drained. I know that.
Crystal, are those numbers running backwards on that?
Yes, they are.
Then that's sweeping backwards, and you got all those words out of the backwards sweep on an AM station.
You want me to hold it up to the camera to prove it? Sorry, my hand's like shaking. I feel
What did it just say?
Maybe you should get back up there.
Here, I'll swap.
Get back, I'm hungry.
Here, I'll swap. I'll swap places.
Okay. Got new personnel here.
Because of the camera.
Was that you touching my shoulder?
Talk to us.
What was
I'd like to hear a name.
What was that?
Couldn't quite make it out. Something like, I got that, babe.
I feel how much my heart's fucking pounding.
Is there a specific person you're after tonight?
I just feel super shaky.
Who do you want with you in here? Which one of the brothers is here?
What did that say?
Inspire and live something.
I heard it say like, buy your truth or... Care to repeat that? What's your real name?
One more message for us? We'll be leaving you. Thank you.
And you're not welcome to follow.
No, you better stay here. This is your place. You cannot follow us.
I captured this EVP here years ago of your voice, a woman's voice. I said I was going to take a photo, and you said you were going to show yourself in it. Can you tell me if this is your voice?
I'll take a picture in like 2 seconds if you want to show yourself in it. Here we go.
Play it one more time.
I'll take a picture in like 2 seconds if you want to show yourself in it. Here we go.
If that was you, can you speak with all of us here? Is your name Ruth Carpenter by any chance? If not, we have another name over here. There's a Judith Turner. Was this voice on my recorder either one of you?
If that's not your name, can you tell us what your name is? Ruth? Rue.
I really thought that said Ruth.
Oh,
Me too.
God.
Rue? Yeah, this is the garden.
Self.
Itself. The garden grew itself. I'm also holding a little device. If you come up to it, your energy, change the light to red.
Is there any energy that resides in this old wooden cross over here?
Do you mind if I touch the cross? Are you fond of this cross?
Introduce.
My name is Carl. Do you mind that I touch this cross? If you don't want me to, let me know. But I am Carl. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you. You don't mind us being here, do you? Is it all right?
This is a beautiful place. Are you still here? Do you come visit this garden? Rock.
Rock.
This is your name on the rock.
Are you Ruth?
Or maybe this is where she is now, near the rock.
Said buried earlier, right?
I believe so.
Yes, it did. Ruth, are you buried underneath this rock? Or are your ashes scattered around it? That noise? Yeah.
Like movement?
Sounded like a door opened. Yeah. That's what I looked at, right?
Light.
Light.
Light. Do you see some lights? Are you near some lights?
Saddle.
Saddle.
Horse.
Horse. Right.
Me and Eric heard some possible horse.
So what do you think, Mario? Pretty active here tonight or what?
Super active. I was thinking about it. The area we were at earlier. So do you think that's human or demonic?
It's definitely something that I've never experienced before that or after that. I really can't explain because the heat was so strong and you could taste it as well, which is almost like misty, but just very, very humid, like this. Like picture this, you know, at 30 degrees to this, it's a tremendous difference.
Well, either way, I look like this is the most activity we're going to get tonight, I think.
Probably. I mean, we have a lot to go over, the recorders and all the footage. Obviously, we've had personal experiences, which is pretty cool also. Oh, what's up?
You need a camera?
What's up? I was gonna go back to that spot real quick, but what's up?
Oh my god.
What's up?
I swear to God, me and her both seen it, and it looked just like a soldier standing right there where that pole goes up.
Come on, really?
For half a second, I thought it was my shadow. I got creepy. It looked like it was either walking or turning. Yeah, and it.
Let's check this out.
It was like this, and like this, and it was gone back in.
I'm not sure if there's water in here. The ground's kind of saturated. By this pole up here?
Yes. It was so creepy, Eric. You could literally see the fucking uniform on it.
Is there anyone over here? Is there a soldier over here? Are you reporting for duty? Hello? Name and rank, please. Worse. Could you identify yourself? I'm hearing noise, yeah. I don't know what it is. Was someone over here just a minute ago? We're trying to round up all the soldiers over here. Can you come with us? Can you come out?
It was like looking at you. It was like solid. You could see it. I seen it. Crystal seen it.
If you're in here, can you just follow us out? We're going to come over here and we're going to gather everyone together.
We got food and water.
What's up? Anything over there, Eric?
You can hear some noise in the brush, but I can't, I don't see what they witnessed.
Somebody moving back and forth in the brush, but
That was around the area we were at, Eric.
It is. It's right on the other side of the path. Right where we heard the rocks clanking.
well, it was creepy because it was like standing there and it was like looking out this way at us. And then she turned around and I went, because then it dawned on me what I was seeing, and it just went like this and was gone into the bushes. I was like, oh my God, I seen something.
That's pretty cool.
Because you're a sinner, Eric, and you can't stand prayers.
Great song.
Get it, guys!